business. We'll take this up again. Please call me next week and we'll resume. I'm not going to let you off the hook on that not voting business. Chris in Crouch End there. But, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to vote. But remember, not voting is actually voting. I want to tell you the story of a London pensioner who has been threatened with being jailed for playing board games too loudly. He claims that he and his friends are being racially discriminated against. His name's Ernest Theophile. He's 73 years old. He joins us now. Ernest, did I pronounce your surname correctly or not?
Not Theophile.
Right, like Theophilus Beckford, the great pianist. Do you remember him?
No, I don't remember.
Oh gosh, that's going back to the 50s. I was hoping that you would remember him.
But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. It was sort of early, sort of. He was like a boogie woogie. But anyway, that aside, Ernest, why do you say the council are discriminating against you for playing loudly? Why is that racial discrimination?
Yes, I think it is. Because they have an opportunity to give us a place where we could have played dominoes, but yes, they actually discriminate against us because we're primarily the only black people who's there, a majority, playing dominoes.
And this is in Westminster Council?
Yes.
And in Maida Hill, where you live, which I know very well, just down the road from, you know, Ladbroke Grove and Harrow Road, the carnival area. There used to be a lot of dominoes played around that area. You say that the neighbourhood's changed?
Well, yeah, it's slightly. The area of the square's changed. Traffic's used to go through there now, but they don't. They've now chairs, tables, and so forth have been put in there, so that the pensioners and elderly people can go and sit down, congregate together.
So you're playing dominoes out in the open in the square?
Yes, we're playing dominoes out in the open in the square.
And anybody who's played dominoes the Caribbean way knows that it comes with a level of a level of noise.
Yes, you have a table and you slam the dominoes on the table.
You slam it down, proper slam. Because it's not just placing the dominoes. Why do you have to slam it, out of interest? I mean, I'm not talking about your case particularly. Why does a dominoes placing have to go, pow?
It's equivalent to being a football player. You couldn't play football on a pitch without a ball. So you have it on the table. Yeah. And you slam it. It means something to you.
So you can't just place it where it's supposed to go. You have to slam it.
Yeah, you slam it down because it means something. If you're losing or the other player plays a bad
card,
set of dominoes, you slam it down there, and it's entertaining. Yeah. And it makes you feel very, very aggressive when they lose, not aggressive when they're not. Mm-hmm. It's an all form of enjoyment.
But who's complaining?
Westminster.
But did any of the neighbours around the square complain?
Sorry?
Did any of the neighbours, any of the residents around the square, did they complain?
Well, they claim they did. They claim they had 200 people complain, but ineffectively there was 160 complaints, and that was done by one person in particular.
Oh, one person complained 160 times?
Yes.
Well, that should be very easy to get the rest of the neighbours to support you then, shouldn't it?
Well, absolutely. And they don't. I don't think it's right what they're saying, and there wasn't that much, according to the council. They actually say whatever they want to say.
This is what the council says, and forgive me for reading out the whole thing. I'm bound, I'm duty bound to read out their thing, because it would have been better if they came on here and argued the case with you, but you know, sometimes councils like to keep their heads below the parapet. So, forgive me for reading this out. I'm going to read it out as swiftly and as clearly as I can, so we don't have to repeat it. They say that claims that Westminster Council has banned anyone in the square from playing dominoes and backgammon are untrue. this order, or the order, applies to amplified noise and assorted antisocial and illegal activities such as urinating and drug dealing that the local community has seen taking place in and around the local area. It also reinforces the no alcohol rule that is in place, as it is with many other of London squares and open spaces. Many of those gathering at Maida Hill Market Square come from outside the borough. Unfortunately, we've received a high volume of complaints about the excessive noise and antisocial behaviour going on late into the evening. Since the introduction of the court order, this public realm has held a number of family-friendly community events that had previously not been able to take place. Meanwhile, the domino players have been offered a space in which to play free of charge. So, they're saying, first of all, you haven't been banned from playing dominoes, so I have to ask whether you've been drinking. Because rum goes with the dominoes.
No, at all. I mean, the whole band with them was that there was no... So the loud music was being played, urinating on the thing. Now, I had a meeting with an inspector of the liaison officer from Sutton Yard and from the council. We had a meeting, and they allowed the music to play till 9 o'clock in the night. One night, one of the elderly gentlemen was his birthday, so we went over the limit of the 9 o'clock start, and it started from there. But we never intentionally went there to play music after a certain time. The council was the one that was behind it all.
And when they
say we urinate, the toilet, they have 3 toilets, I think, in the square, and all of them is broken down. We've complained to them various times to come and fix it, and they never did, and they never have. And if you go there now, you'll see that it's still rotten. It hasn't been fixed, it hasn't been nailed to the ground. It's still there.
And they offered you this Amberley Hall up to 2 days a week?
They did not.
Oh, they didn't?
It was never offered to us, Amberley Hall. It was never offered to us.
Ernest, how are we going to work things out? Because obviously the council have got a lot of power to stop you playing dominoes and to gather in that square. How are we going to work things out?
The way we can work this out is give us an establishment, number one, to go to. But better still, the liaison person who is in charge of the situation better than me, with Jacqui, she will tell you exactly what the situation is as concerned.
Hello.
Hello, Jacqui. Hi, Jacqui. You're right. Ernest, thank you, by the way. Yeah, Jacqui, how are we going to work this out is what I was saying to Ernest. How are you going to work things out between the domino players and Westminster Council?
Okay, well, it's Westminster Council and the Labour councillors who are both pushing together for this. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, on the court appearances and the weak defence that they have, they can see that this is a grossly disproportionate action. And now with the elections, now that the Conservatives have had to move aside, and it's the Labour who are now facing it, we are hoping that Labour, being the party of the people, will be looking at working with us and negotiating with us around this and not pursuing this injunction, whilst also providing an alternative for this community. Otherwise, the community, I'm afraid, are not going to sit back. We're going to have to keep battling and take it forth with Labour Westminster. And so everything really hangs right now on how Westminster Labour will be looking at this or be taking this issue on with us.
Yeah, but where can you take it? Where can you take it if the council doesn't adhere to what you're suggesting, that they provide you with an alternative venue or otherwise? You know, where can you take it after that?
Well, we continue to fight this because until Friday and the judge's decision, it may be possible that we have to still go to court for continuing arguments on this to actually resolve the case. If that isn't what happens and Westminster either decide to not pursue it or the judge rules against it, then for us, as it has been before, it's about us working with the council, for the council to recognise this community, to give this community some of the resources that are allocated for them and to find alternatives and a centre or somewhere that they can create their own social interaction and their own services that serve their needs without having to create that in the open market space simply through a dire lack of alternatives when the council has been given funding over decades to address this community, and to be honest, they can't tell you where it's all gone.
I'm going to come down. I think it's part of my job being the eyes and ears of London. I need to come down and see it for myself, to be honest, and be able to talk to people perhaps next week. Are you, or is the community still playing dominoes at the moment or not?
They are indeed, because there is nowhere else to play.
And what days are they playing? What hours? When can I come down and see for myself what's going on and get a sense of whether the council have got a case or not and the local community?
We would love you to come down and see it.
Okay.
Then you can judge it for yourself.
Okay, when?
It gives you an idea, whenever it suits you.
So are you there on the weekdays? Are you there in
afternoon, weekdays? It doesn't matter which day.
So afternoons. Okay, I'll come down one day this week. I'll come down one day this week and see for myself, and hopefully be able to speak to you as well, Ernest, amongst others, if you're around. Otherwise, I'll just get a sense of it.
Well, would you? Not on a Thursday, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thursday doesn't work for me either. So let's try. How about Friday of next week or Wednesday?
Yes, Friday evening would be absolutely fine.
Friday or possibly Saturday. Would you be there Saturday daytime?
Yes, Saturday we're there as well.
Okay,
yes.
Well, Friday or Saturday, I will be down there and I will speak to you and I'll speak to the local community and I'll get a sense of what's going on and report back.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, maybe we can return to this conversation at a later date. But for now, Jacqui, thank you, and also Ernest, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. And if you live in that area in Maida Hill and you know what we're talking about, it's at Maida Hill Market Square. Maida Hill Market Square. And apparently the people playing dominoes there, according to the council, are causing some kind of, according to the council, this is, causing some kind of antisocial behaviour, is what they're saying. That's what the council's saying. And of course we heard for Ernest Theophile there, who says no, on the contrary. I'll try and get a sense of it and then I'll report back next week. If I can't make it this coming week, I'll make it the week after. But over the next couple of weeks, you will get something from me on this, I promise you. And talking of which,